Now we are going to see the email package in A2019. So currently there are a lot of actions available in this email package, such as reply email, forward, delete all the emails, save all attachments, read, send the email. Like that, we have a lot of commands. Let me show you the list so you can understand. In this email package, we have delete all, delete, disconnect, connect, forward the email, reply email, save attachment, save a email, send, read the emails. We have a lot of actions in this email package. And also you can use any kind of service providers such as Microsoft Outlook or Gmail, Yahoo, or the other service providers. For that, just you need to specify the host name and the port name. You need to differentiate by the host name as well as the port name. In the video, you will see how we can update the host name and port name for the other service providers. And if you are a Microsoft Outlook user, you need to ensure that the Outlook application is open when you are running the bot. It's mandatory. It should be open. Because of the Microsoft Outlook, you are not going to provide the host name and the port ID. You need to open the application when the time of task running. You need to open the application. It should be opened. And if you are other service provider such as Gmail or Yahoo service provider, you need to allow the less secure app action. For that, just go to your inbox. On the top right, we have a dot line, Google Apps. Just click on Google Apps and select account. Here in the left side navigation tree, just click on security. Just scroll down and you will see less secure app access. Here you need to turn on this one. In the default, it's off because of currently we are going to automate from the third-party application, which is Automation Anywhere. So you need to enable this one. Whenever you are going to automate from the third-party application, you need to enable this less secure app access. Then only you can get or fetch the information or send the email from your email server. Less secure app access, just turn on this. If it's turn off, please turn on, then you can proceed. And also please ensure that while establishing a connection, you need to mention the same session name for all the lines. For first line, like connection, you have provided the different session name, and for the other actions, if you are providing the different session name, you will get some of the errors. So please ensure that. Let me go to the control room and I'll start creating the bot. In the action list, just type email and you will see the list of email package actions. So for the first action, you need to connect to the email server. So my current task is I want to read all the emails from my email server. So currently only 3 emails are available in my mailbox. So I want to extract all the information from this inbox. First I will connect to the email server. Just drag and drop this connect, and the session name, in the default it's email session. If you want to change the name, you can change it, but please ensure that you need to give the same session name for the other actions also. So my choice is just go with the default option and connect to Outlook or email server. Outlook, Microsoft Outlook, and if you are using the other service providers, Gmail or Yahoo, you need to click on email server. So if you are using the Outlook, you don't need to provide any other host or port number or username, password. Since just you need to open the Outlook application. That's it. It's very easy, Outlook. And for the email, very simple, you need to provide the host name and port name. What is the host name and port name? We are having multiple servers, right? For Gmail, Yahoo, MSN, Microsoft Outlook. In order to reading or fetching the emails, you need to use the separate host name and port ID. In order to send the email, you need to use the different host name as well as the port ID. For Gmail, you can see, for reading or fetching emails, you need to use imap.gmail.com and port ID is 993. In order to send the email, host name is smtp.gmail.com and port ID is 587. So this is what we are going to use. Currently we are going to automate this Gmail. If you are using the Yahoo, just use this IMAP address as well as the SMTP address. Like in the action list, you can see what are all the actions. If you feel, just you need to fetch the informations. Like whenever you are reading the emails, you can use IMAP address or else reply, send the emails or delete the emails. For that actions, you need to provide the SMTP address. It's mandatory, forward the emails. Because of you're going to sending the emails, it's also come under the send emails. At the time we need to SMTP address. Currently we are going to fetch the information, read the email from the server. So I'm going to use IMAP address, imap.gmail.com. Done. And the next one is port. So what is the port available? 993. We have updated 993 and the username and password. So this is the Gmail username and password. Whatever the username and password you have used to log in this inbox, you need to provide this. For that, the best secured method is credential. You need to create the credential lockers. Then you can securely use it because of it's masked, completely masked. So no one can see your password or username or anything. But if you're using the other insecure string, anyone can see. Like in the insecure string, either you can create a variable and do that, or else in the insecure string, you can type your email address, like your email.gmail.com password, my password, something like that. You can type it, but anyone can see your password as well as the other details. It's not a good method. For good practice, you need to create the credential as well as the lockers. So in the next upcoming videos, you will learn how we can create the credential and lockers. Now we will go with the insecure string. So for that, in order to visible, I'll create one more variable for the password as well as the username. My username and the default value, I want to update my email address. So I'll update my email address. This is just for a sample. Already have created the variable, so don't worry about that. This is just for your reference. I'm updating some different email ID and just click on create. And next you need to update your password. Create one more variable for your password, my password, and you need to update your password information over here. So you need two different variable. One is for name, username, and the another one is for password. It's a string variable. The default value, just update the value. So already you can see in my list there are two items are there, my password and my username. Already have created two items. So I'm good. Just press F2. In the drop down list, just select my username and my password. Done. And we are going to connect with the other service provider, and it's need a secure connection. It's mandatory. You need to check this checkbox. Use secure connection SSL and the protocol. So what is this protocol? IMAP or POP? What is the option we need to select? IMAP, which is nothing but internet message access. So this is a common for reading the emails as well as some of the fetching the emails. POP is quite different. It reads the emails as well as it can download all of your emails to the local drive and it delete from the server. So it's quite difficult concept. So you need to completely learn about POP, then you can use it. Here also we are going to use the POP for delete all emails as well as some of the action we need to use POP. In the next video we will see how we can use the POP as well as the other actions. Now we'll go with IMAP. Currently we are going to read the email. So we'll begin with the IMAP. And if you're using the EWS server, just check this option button and fill the information. Currently I'm going to use email server, so I'm good with that. Click on save. Currently we have connected our connection to the email server, and next we need to use loop function. Just type loop, drag and drop this loop, or double click or drag and drop, that's up to you. When you click on this loop, on the right hand side we can see iterator. So the number of iterators, email, just click on for each email in mailbox. And next, session name. Please ensure that you are using the same session name as above. Like in the connect, whatever the session name you have provided, you need to use it. and type of email you need, like all the email. If you want, you can choose this option button, or else if you want to extract only the read emails, you can check this. In my case, I have only 3 emails, so I will go with all, and from a specific folder. I want to get the information from inbox, so I'll go with inbox. In your case, if you want to get the information from sent items or deleted items, you need to mention the particular items. For that, you need to create a variable. So the default option inbox is available. If you need any other particular folders, you need to create the variable and you can assign it. And if you want to apply any other conditions, such as when subject contains any other text, you can do that. From specific senders, when received date on, and message format, if you want to extract information based on the HTML or plain text. Now I need only the plain text. Next, you need to create the dictionary variable. So if you are not sure about the dictionary variable, please watch my another video for the user defined variable. Within that, I have completely explained about the dictionary variable, what is the key value pairs, and how we are creating the key values, how we are using the variables, something like that I have explained. So for now, I'll create the dictionary variable. It's quite very easy, you know. I'll type the name as dictionary email and the type as dictionary. It's a default option, so you don't need to change anything. Just type the name and click on create and select. That's it. Let me save the task. And in order to display the values, I'll use the message box. For that, just type message box, drag and drop this message box within this loop. So in this message box, just press F2, select the dictionary variable. Just now we have created one of the variable, and it's asking the key because of we are using the dictionary variable. So you need to mention the dictionary keys. In the videos, we will already we have covered some of the email dictionary keys: email subject, email from, which is nothing but currently we are running the task within the loop, right? So first time it will validate the first email. So what is the first email subject? It will give you the result. So currently I'm going to use email subject, and it's also a case sensitive item. You need to exactly mention the name, email, and yes is caps. So you need to specify the caps as well as everything. Email subject. So it will display the values. We are good. Let's save and run the task so you can see the result. It started the activity. Line number 3 of 3. Perfect. Let me go to the mailbox and I will show you the result. The first email is test email. Email subject. So we are trying to extract the email subject from the email server. So test email. Let's close. And the next one is 8/2019 demo. Next subject is demo. We are good. And the final one is automation in your email. So it's displaying the correct value. So we have got the connection into the correct email server, and it displayed all the email subject from the server. So maybe you got confused with this dictionary email only. These are all simple thing, you know. For that, just you need to create the dictionary variable and type this text, such as these are all dictionary keys. If you want to validate the email from or email to, email message, something like that, anything you can type in the message box, you can type and get the details. That's quite easy. And next, let's see how to send the email from the email server. So for that, let me now disable these actions. And also here, okay, I forgot only one thing. Here we are connecting to the email server. So we need to disconnect also. Whenever there is a connection is required, you need to disconnect also. I missed that. So you need to disconnect. Let's click on save. And disable the action. Okay, everything is disabled. Now I will show you how to send the emails. In order to send the email, you don't need to connect the connection. Connection is not required for the send emails. Just drag and drop only the send, and here you need to mention the to address. So what is the to address? You are going to send the emails. I am going to send it to one of the email address. And CC, if it's required, you can do that, or else it's optional field. To address only the mandatory field. And the subject, send demo. Okay, I'll update as. And the attachment, if it's required, you can attach the file, or else just leave it. You can attach from the control room file, or else desktop file, or variable. You can attach any kind of files, plain text or HTML. I'll go with plain text. Send email demo. Include Go Green message. This is very simple now. Simple line of text. Save planet. Like do not use the paper. Something like that. You need to use that. Send email via. If you want to use the Outlook, you need to select this Outlook option. Or if you are using the EWS server, just select this. And currently, we are going to use the Gmail. So we need to use email server. For other service providers, Gmail, Yahoo, so other service provider, you need to use this. And from address. So from which address you are going to send the email? I am going to send the email from this email address. So I'll update. Next, email server host. So currently this is a send email. For sending emails, we need to use smtp.gmail.com. For receiving emails, imap.gmail.com. For receiving or reading emails, IMAP. For sending emails, SMTP. This is applicable for forwarding the emails or replying the emails, something like that. Okay. smtp.gmail.com and the port address. So what is the port address for Gmail? It's 587. So just update 587. And you need to check this button. Use secure connection SSL. It should be true. My server requires authentication. It should be true. And next, username. You need to provide the from address, username, and the password. So this from this email address, we are going to send the email. So we need to provide this username as well as the password. For that, already I have created the username and password. So I'll in the drop down, I will select the username. For the password, insecure string password. So just for a testing purpose, we are using the insecure string. But in your case, definitely you need to use the credentials. In next video, you will learn how we can create the credential as well as the locker and how we can use it like that. Because it's an insecure string, it's completely not secured. Anyone can see your email ID as well as the password, everything. Let's run the task so we can see. Here you can see send demo. So this is the email we have sent using this control room. So for that, just one line. We have drag and drop only the send. So within that, we have provided all the details such as SMTP address, from address, to address, and the other things. We have provided to address, subject send demo, plain text send email demo, as well as the server host, server port, secure connection, true. So these are all the information we have provided. So using this, it has been sent the email. Done. We have completed this action. Next, we will see how to forward the email as well as delete the emails. So in order to forward or reply or delete the emails, you need to use the loop function. So within the loop function only, you can apply the forward or reply or any other things. Only the send command, we can, individually you can use it. But for the forward or reply, you need to use within this loop function. Because of, so in the loop action, basically, it will validate from 1 to 4. So currently we have only 4. The iterations. So it will iterate the inbox. Like that, at the time you can apply the conditions. So based on the condition, it can work. For that, first you need to use connect. Currently we are going to forward the email. Okay, for forward will enable the action. Connect, session name email, yeah, I'll use the same email, and email server imap.gmail. Okay, I'll use the same connection. I'm not going to change anything. Maybe you have a question, or previously you said we need to use the SMTP for forward or replying the emails, but currently you are using the IMAP. Because of currently just I am going to connect to the email server, reading the emails. So if I am giving the IMAP address, then only it can read the emails. So when you are forwarding the actions, when you are using the forward action, at the time you can provide the SMTP address. So this is just for reading the emails from the email server. So in the next action you will learn why we are using this IMAP. Let's enable this action also. So in this loop, for iterator, for each mail in mailbox, session name save all inbox, and here we are going to apply one of the conditions, such as okay, one of the email text contains test. So I want to forward this email to one of the email address. Okay, when subject contains test, I want to forward that. So this is the only one thing I am changing. When subject contains, and plain text I will keep as it is, and at this time we don't need a dictionary variable, because just we are going to forward the emails. When you are reading the emails, you need a dictionary variable. So very simple. Here iterator I have selected, for each mail in mailbox, session name the default name, type of email I have selected. So just I have mentioned the subject contains test. We are going to forward one of the email to the other email address. So just click on save. Let's delete the message box. Enable this disconnect also, and drag and drop this forward within this loop. So within this loop action, you need to drag and drop this forward option. So when you drag and drop this forward, in the action list you can see it asking to enter the to address. So what is the to address? You are going to forward the email. So I want to forward this to this email address. CC if it's required, you can. It's optional field, so it's not mandatory. Attachment also optional. And the forward. So message, if you want to type any other message, you can type it, or else just leave as it is. I am trying to forward the same email, so I will go with that. Next, email server host. Here you need to provide the SMTP address. So previously in the connection, we are trying to read all the emails from the inbox. That's the reason we have provided the IMAP address. And in here in the forward, we should use only the SMTP address, because it's also one of the send email command, such as reply, forward. We are sending the email to the other's email address. So you need to use smtp.gmail.com, smtp.gmail.com, and the port number is for 587. So just update 587 in this list. Use secure connection. It should be check this checkbox, because for the other email service provider, use secure connection mandatory. And my server requires authentication. For some of the server, it doesn't require the authentication, but in our Gmail or Yahoo, most of the server requires the authentication. So you need to check this checkbox, and either credential or insecure string. So already we have created the variable for my username, we have selected, and for the password also we have already created the variable. So let's select the password, click on yes insert. We have done, we have completed all the actions. Very simple. Within this loop, in the loop condition, we have applied the condition as test. When subject contains test, I want to forward the email. So what will happen is, it will read all the emails from your email server, and whenever there is a email subject contains test, it will forward the email to the particular email address which we have provided. So this will forward this to this email address. So let's click on save and run the task, so you can see the result. Bot is running, action completed successful. It seems it's forwarded the email to the email server. So let's see. Let's close this message box and go to mailbox. Refresh this one, so you can see the forward email. Here is the forward email which we have forwarded now. Please consider the environment. So this is a save green message. We have selected the option, right? That's the reason. Save green message. So successfully it's forwarded the email. Very simple. For that, within this loop we have used the forward action. Like the same, you can use delete, reply, and the other action. Let me use the delete. So when you use the drag and drop the delete, you don't need to mention anything. In the action list, there is no action record because of it's based on the loop condition. So in this loop, currently, wherever the text subject contains test, it will now it will hold on the particular line and delete the particular emails. So currently what will happen is it will delete the this email. Test email will get deleted from the email server because of in the loop we have applied the condition. Wherever the subject contains text, we need to delete that. So this is the basic logic. Just click on save and run the task. So let's see. The task is running. Line 3 of 4. Perfect. Action complete, successful. It seems the particular email has been deleted from the email server. Let's close this message box and we'll refresh, so you can see it should not be there. When you refresh this, the test email should not be there. Perfect. Here you can see the test email has been deleted from the server using this delete action. So in this delete action, these are all very simple things. Only you need to validate the port address as well as host. That's it. And less secure apps. So this is the mandatory. Apart from that, everything is very easy. The logics, why we are using the IMAP address as well as when you are using the SMTP. It's a basic logic. You may get confused when there is a forward or reply, something like that, because in this connection we are using the IMAP and in the forward we are using the SMTP. For the forward or reply, we don't need an IMAP address. Since we are providing the SMTP address within this action list, so you don't need to mention any other things. We are using this IMAP only to read the emails from server. So when you read the email, then only you can see, you can extract the information like all emails, read the emails, as well as you can apply the logics. That's the reason we have used the IMAP. It's very simple.